I was sent this diesel air car parking heater and asked you my opinion on it. Check it out and see how it works. Make this short video. Here's what you're going to get. It's basically as big as a medium-sized suitcase. It's not that heavy. Pick it up with one hand. It's got a plastic outside shell with reinforcements in the design, so it holds up pretty sturdy. If you open up this side here, the panel drops down, and you can see the diesel fuel tank is here, and then here's the heater cavity. Air is going to be coming in from the front here, and then it's going to be coming out through the back, and the motor, it's going to have a hot exhaust coming out through here also. You can see down below where you got your motor is in there. Get the exhaust coming out. Got some other wiring on this side here. They give you all the different kind of fittings you'll need to have this up and running. You won't have to buy into this plumbing. It'll come with it. All your hose clamps. This is like an exhaust vent that you'll put on the end of your exhaust pipe here. And so the heat's going to be coming out of here from the back of the unit. Going to get a power supply. It's got a plug in the front here. I think this is going to warm up the glow plug and help the unit get started and control this panel here. So that's what that plug is for. You can also run that off of this here. This has got like a power cord with battery terminals on it. So you could use either one. It's available. Looking at this power cord here, the output is at 13 volts and 10 amps. So yeah, that would definitely run off of a car battery if you wanted to do that, if your remote didn't have access to power. Then you've got a remote control where you can start it and adjust the temperature. You've got some mounting brackets here, and you've got a couple hoses, one for exhaust, one for inlet. And then you've got an air filter for the inlet also. And then a little bit of a muffler here to slow down the noise coming out of it. Let me get this set up, put some diesel in it, and we'll see how it works. The unit's all put together now, real easy. Just hose clamps on the heated air exhaust and then on the engine exhaust here. So when this turns on, it's probably going to blow a bunch of smoke because it's brand new. It's going to need to burn off what's going on in there as it's a brand new engine. On the other side, hose clamps, just connect this tube here to this air filter and then plug my power in. I've got my remote here ready as well. And then I filled it up with some diesel fuel, just put a little bit of fuel in. See that little green line here at the bottom? It's going down this fuel line into the combustion area of the engine here. So let's go ahead and do the startup sequence. What we'll do is take a look here at the temperature. I've got a temperature probe that I'm going to put inside this exhaust vent here. We're showing it's about 80 degrees right now, and we'll see how much hotter we can get that by turning this unit on. So I'm going to head to activate it. You're going to press and hold the power button for about 2 seconds. And you'll see the screen come on. And there it is. It's set to heating number 9. And the blue is illuminating, meaning the fan is starting to run. It's blowing air through the unit. And it's getting ready to start the engine and start to ramp up. When that happens, you'll see red on the right side of the engine there. We don't yet have that, but it will be blowing hot air when that side of the engine shows red. And it takes a little bit of time for it to get through its startup sequence where it's drawing just a small amount of fuel and heating the unit up very slowly. So, sort of see if there's any movement here. It's already primed, so you really won't be able to see the fuel moving down that line, but right now it's drawing a small amount of fuel for it to get the engine going. And you'll see we'll have quite a bit of smoke blowing out of here when it is running. So let's take a look here. We're still waiting on it to crank up. We're at the highest heat setting. Using that remote, you can adjust that. 10 is the highest, and then just by pressing the button here for minus, I can lower that however I want to do. And then you can also turn it on and off. Something to remember is when you turn this off, it needs to go through a cool down cycle. So while it will say off on the display, the whole unit will keep running. It'll run cool air through it so that the inside components don't get hurt with a too hot of a cool down. So here we go. We've got the heat started. We're starting to burn some gas here. If you look at my exhaust, you're going to start to see smoke coming out of it. And we do. Got a little bit of smoke coming out. I can feel the heat. You can tell the engine here, it's really quiet. Not a lot of noise coming out of this thing, and it's a slow ramp up. Start to hear some of that clicking noise as it starts to run that fuel pump and pull fuel down into the engine. But it's much quieter than a generator. It doesn't have nearly the noise that you hear on a generator. Crank that back up to 10. And just slowly, it starts to ramp up. You can start to hear from the inlet that it's drawing more and more oxygen into the engine as the RPMs increase on the engine. A lot of heat here. And so back to our 80 degrees. It's already starting to put out some heat. We're showing now, we're over 100. And I mean, it just started running. So we've got a lot of ways to go, and it's already showing 100 degrees of hot air coming out and climbing. We'll let it go for a little bit longer here. Another quick look at it here, and yeah, we're at 210 degrees and still climbing. So this thing's really getting hot. Hard to put your hand in front of it for very long. But overall, yeah, that's it. It's a suitcase size heater that's going to ramp up and heat up a large size room very quickly. You're going to want to make sure you run this exhaust hose outside the building on a longer extended line, so that way you can keep this exhaust and carbon monoxide out of your area that you're trying to heat. You don't want to have any poisoning issues with that. You're going to see it's blowing a lot more smoke now. There is a lot of exhaust coming out from that diesel engine. So if you've got a cold garage, or if you're out hunting and you're doing other kinds of activities where you need some heat, this is definitely going to do the job. Hey, I hope this was helpful. Learn a little bit more about this diesel air heater. Hope this information was useful to you, and as always, I hope you have a great day.